close-up and macro. What's the difference between close-up photography and macro photography?
In macro, the subject is the life size 1:1. The reproduction ratio is 1:1. In close-up, it will be lower than that, and the distance between the subject and the front will be little more than what you have in the macro.
Close-up is just what you say, taking a
But
picture
very
from a
often,
close distance.
these two are used interchangeably.
We should not.
We should not be doing that, but that's
So, when you go close, if I want to take Devendra's photo and I come here, I'm doing a close-up of his face. But if I want to do a macro, I'll have to come 3-4 inches to cover only his eye. Macro is for small objects. You cannot photograph a mountain to make it into a macro shot. Right? So, a true macro lens should give a magnification of 1:1. That means what? If you are photographing a caterpillar this way, if it is 1 inch long caterpillar, it should come 1 inch on the sensor, not in your enlargement, in your sensor. Then it is 1:1, life size, same size. That is 1:1. So anything else less than 1:1 is not really a macro lens. There are so many zoom lenses and other lenses which are close focusing, but it is marked with M for macro. In some cases, even macro is written there. That is wrong. So macro has to be 1:1 or larger. Okay. So the easiest way to do a macro is to get a macro lens.
sorry.
A macro lens is one that allows you to focus very close. See, every lens on earth can focus to infinity. But when it comes to the closer focusing, each lens has got a limitation. Your 50mm lens cannot focus closer than 18 inches. If I want to photograph a stem from 18 inches, it becomes so small that you can't see it properly. I need a camera lens that can come 2-3 inches close away, 4 inches close away, so the image appears bigger. So the macro lenses are designed specially so that they can come much closer to the subject. There are other ways to go close by attaching what is called close-up filters. So you have +1, +2, +3, +4. The bigger the number, the closer you are. But once you attach a close-up filter, you cannot focus to infinity. The range is limited. So if I want to focus to infinity, something is happening there, I have to remove the close-up filter and then again come over here. It's a big pain. Another way is to put what is called an extension tube. If you put a tube in between, just a piece of metal, no optics inside, you will be able to focus much closer. There are several ways to go close. Several ways, not just 2 or 3. But the easiest is the macro lens. So if you like close-up and macro photography, then I would suggest that you buy a good macro lens. Nowadays we get lots of Chinese lenses. I have no experience with them. People say that they are quite good. I don't know. I can't opine on it because I have not used them. But I have used Canon's macro on Canon body, Nikon's macro on Nikon, Sony's macro on Sony. They are all excellent. So keep that in mind that macro photography opens up a new world, something that you cannot see with your naked eye. For example, the flower, you cannot see the close-up of flower at this distance. But once you take a picture, you will see all the little details inside. You can't see the insects, the small mouth parts of the insects, everything. You have to be a little careful. You're photographing a bee or a wasp, don't annoy it. It might you. And again, there are different focal lengths for macro. The very much available ones are 50mm,
100.
90 or 100 and 200. So 100 or 105. So which one should you buy? If you are into photographing dangerous creatures, then buy the longest one. Because the longer the macro focal length, you'll be able to stay away from the subject. Imagine you're photographing a scorpion or a snake and you want to go 3-4 inches, you'll be sorry. I remember we had gone to Amboli near Goa and we were photographing Tarantula. And I have only had a 60 millimeter macro, as good as 50 mm. So I was going, it was a risk going very close. So it used to stand up on its two rear legs and it used to foam at the mouth. And you could hear the thing. It's getting annoyed because I'm going closer. And it has hair, fine hair on its body. If at certain point it will vibrate and throw out the air, throw out those fibers into the air. If it sticks on your body, it will scratch like hell. That's its defense mechanism. And if the tarantula bites you, you'll remember God even if you are an atheist. So that's why it is better to have a longer focal length macro. You can also use it as a medium telephoto lens. Yes, sir.
So, like, as of date, the highest focal length available is 105 mm.
No, you can get 200 also,
Nikon
but
has
now they are
discontinued-
going out. And Nikon has closed it.
Even Sigma has discontinued 180 mm. Tamron has also discontinued 180.
Yeah.
Now maximum you get is 105.
Okay.
So, like in such case, like what is the reason behind it? Why they have discontinued this 200 mm and this one?
Not many people are buying it because of cost.
Because of the cost. Okay.
180 mm goes for like 1 lakh rupees in the used market
So,
only.
Sigma 180 mm.
Not Sigma.
DSLR, no?
This gentleman has
It
a
was
Sigma
1.5
180.
to 1.6 lakhs.
I had a friend who had a 200 millimeter Nikon macro. That's amazing lens, amazing. Except it was heavy and very expensive.
But Indian 200 mm, I remember it doesn't have that VR feature.
Yeah. Those days were different. Nowadays we are in more of VRs and all. And whatever you want to buy it now before you get married.
Hmm.
Afterwards you will have to ask permission to change the TV channel.